Joining us now, the Virginia Republican Congressman Bob Good. He voted for Jim Jordan all 3 times, I believe, and was one of the 8 Republican congressmen who supported the ouster of Kevin McCarthy. Congressman, thank you for being back here on the Hill. It feels like we have you about once a week now with everything that's going on. As we sit back and we try to figure out what's going on, why should we or anyone at this point believe that Republicans can rally around a single person?
Well, it certainly is a tall order, but for all of those who are fretting and wringing their hands and saying, oh, this is chaos, this is embarrassment, this is a clown show, I would say, what is it that you're concerned about that Congress isn't continuing to do that it's been doing the past 9 or 10 months for the American people? Congress has been failing miserably the American people, failing miserably Republican voters who gave us the majority. If you think about what we have done so far, we have passed messaging bills under the former Speaker that died in the Senate, had no chance in the Senate or the White House. We had 2 opportunities to try to effectuate change for the American people, the debt ceiling and the funding of the government. And in both cases, we passed Democrat bills with overwhelming Democrat support, the same things Democrats would have done if they had the majority, and for which we did not need a Republican Speaker or a Republican majority. So should we be in a hurry? Should we be in a hurry to get back to pretending that we're doing things for the American people and we're failing them? We've got a continuing resolution that was unconditional, keeping all the Biden, Pelosi, Schumer spending in place until November 17, and we weren't going to pass any of our spending bills. We didn't do that. We passed 4 of them, and 3 of them in the final week of September. And so what are we in a hurry to get back to keep the status quo?
Well, you're going to need a speaker there because there's, this $106 billion aid package, and maybe you're for it, maybe you're against, I don't know, but at some point that's going to be debated and that's going to need to be taken up. You said it was a tall order to rally around someone. A tall order. I didn't hear you say yes, Congressman. Do you think at the end of the day Republicans are going to be able to identify someone?
Well, we will, because we will have to. We certainly should have done it with Jim Jordan. You had 200 members supporting Jim Jordan. I don't think there's anyone else who could have gotten to 200 as quickly and as easily as he did. Unfortunately, you had a couple of dozen who were against him, I think, out of spite in some cases, or their anger at the aid, or Matt Gaetz, my friend, who filed the motion to vacate. Some of those are appropriators who want to, guess what, appropriate and spend more money, increase spending like the Democrats. You had some who are blindly loyal to the military-industrial complex and want to increase defense spending with no accountability, no transparency, no holding them accountable for their nearly $1 trillion of taxpayer resources. And so you had them kind of come together. The swamp struck back. They defeated the grassroots candidate. We had the first national speaker election we have had in modern times, where we didn't have a coronation of the next person in line, the establishment status quo, the donor class elites, a special interest choice.
But the Constitution also says you have to do this, and you can't.
On the grassroots conservative. Say that again?
I said the Constitution says you have to do this, and you haven't been able to do this. So I hear you, and I get your point, sir. But I think the questions of how does this end are real, are they not?
Well, it will have to end. We will have to elect a speaker, and we will have to coalesce around someone that represents the conservative center of the conference. I think it'll be somebody from the grassroots. I don't think it's going to be an establishment, someone who's part of the current swamp system, quite frankly, who's been part of what has failed the American people and failed the Republican conference. But we'll see who that'll be. We're going to have a candidate forum on Monday. I regret that we're starting over. We should have elected Jim Jordan, but we'll see who can get to that 217 that we need.
Congressman, I got to leave it there.
The answer was to elect Jim Jordan.
No, and I know that's your position.
Thank you.
Congressman, we'll catch you next week, I'm sure. Have a good one.
Something
go for it.
Really interesting that he said there. You know who was next in line? He said, we didn't take the next guy who was in line. We didn't take... Jim Jordan was the next guy in line. Once Steve Scalise went down, Jim Jordan was the next guy in line. Kevin McCarthy was whipping for Jim Jordan.
Yeah.
The establishment we have met the establishment, and it is us. And the story here, when you get right down to it, is insurgents captured the establishment. And then when they had it, they said, okay, now you losers, you're going to suck it up and you're going to vote for us like you used to tell us to do. And then the mainstream Republicans did something we never see them do.
The revenge of the rhinos, right?
Oh, Oh, is that what we're doing now? Right. Are we going along to get along now?
Thanks for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to subscribe. Click the red button to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.